Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video I will show you a game between Wesley and Saleh Salem. This game was played in Dubai in 2008. Wesley had white pieces and he started with e4. Saleh Salem played c5, the Sicilian defense. Knight to f3, knight to c6, d4, c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, black to move, e5, the Sveshnikov variation, knight from d to b5, d6, bishop to g5, pinning the knight, a6, asking a question, knight to a3, b5, threatening, b4. Wesley wanted to play knight to d5, so he removed the defender of that square. Bishop takes on f6, pawn takes bishop, knight to d5, f5, bishop to d3, bishop to e6, and Wesley castled kingside. Bishop takes on d5, e takes on d5, knight to e7, a move played by players like Anand, Kramnik and Topalov, to mention a few. Black is threatening to take the pawn on d5. Maybe. How would you defend the pawn? What would you do? Wesley played c3. Salem played e4. What's wrong with taking the pawn? If knight takes on d5, then bishop takes on b5, check. And after a takes on b5, queen takes knight. White stands better. Back to our game. e4 was played, bishop to c2, bishop to g7, queen to h5. Salem castled kingside. Rook from a to e1, queen to c8, king to h1. Is white intending f3 next? That is the question. What do you think? Rook to b8, perhaps intending b4. White to move. How would you continue? f3 move was seen in 2002 in the game Shirov and Leko. Shirov with the white pieces played f3 and came second. Back to our game. g4 by Wesley b4, c takes on b4, bishop takes on b2. Oops, did Wesley miss this move? If the knight moves, then the queen takes on c2. What would you do? Wesley played queen to g5, check. Knight to g6, g takes on f5, bishop takes on a3, f takes on g6, f takes on g6. If queen takes on c2, one line goes like this. G takes on h7, check, king to h8, queen to f6, check, king takes pawn, rook to g1, and white wins. Back to our game. F takes on g6, bishop takes on e4, queen to d8, offering to trade queens. Queen to g3, attacking the bishop, bishop takes on b4, threatening to capture the rook. What now? Should white play rook to e2 or rook to e3 or something else? What would you do? Wesley played bishop takes pawn on g6. Bishop takes rook. Let's take it back. How about h takes on g6? One line goes like this. Queen takes on g6, check, king to h8. Queen to h5, check, king to g7. Rook to g1, check, king to f6. White to move. And to give checkmate in 3 different ways. How would you give checkmate? Back to our game. Bishop takes rook. Bishop takes on h7, check. How about bishop to e4? Is that a good move? Then king to h8, and black is better. Back to our game. Bishop takes on h7, check. king to h8, rook takes bishop. Black to move. This is the critical position of the game. Salem was stressed from defending very hard and missed the saving move, and that is queen to f6. He played rook to f6 with an interesting idea in mind, but let's go back to queen to f6. Then after bishop to e4, rook to f7, and black is fighting back. Back to our game. Rook to f6 was played. White to move. How would you continue now? Wesley so played queen to h3. If queen to h4, then rook to f7. This was the idea. Black is okay. Back to our game. Rook to f6 was played, then queen to h3. Rook to f4. Bishop to f5, discover check. Queen to h4, blocking. Queen to c3, check. Rook to d4. Rook to d1. Rook to b4, holding the position together. But who is defending? The back rank. Queen to c8, check was played. King to g7. White played a move and black resigned, and the move is rook to g1. Salem resigned. If rook to g4, then bishop takes on g4, rook takes on g4, rook takes on g4, check, queen takes rook, queen takes queen, check. White wins, but let's go back. After check, there is a variation for black in which he can save the queen, and that is king to f6. But this variation has a tiny downside too, and that is queen to e6, check, mate. Wesley so won this game, but he won also the whole tournament and made his final norm at age of 14. At that time, he was the youngest grandmaster in the world. What do you think of this game? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.